Me, DeoGenZ, here with another edition of eBay Collectibles. On today's episode, we're going to take a look at some solidly assured fakes here. Now, the reason I say they're solidly assured as fakes is, well, just look at them. The eyes are off. The plastic, although you can't feel it through the camera, is cheap and not of the typical plastics used for the Tomy figures. But the more telling sort of thing that allows me to know that this whole pack is essentially just a bunch of fakes is the fact that I have some comparisons here. Okay, so let's start with some of the more shocking comparisons of Feraligatr and Mewtwo. Now let's see if you could guess at home which one is which. Da 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 da. Well, I think it's pretty clear which one is the derpy Feraligatr. It's clear as day. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like Feraligatr at all. It even had a weird messed up tail thing here when you can see that, you know, Feraligatr spikes, they stay consistent, including on its tail. So, not real, and not even a good fake. At least the Flareon, Scyther, and Typhlosion that I showed before were at least good efforts. Now, this one is interesting. This is the real one, this is the fake one. But the coloring on this one, it actually looks rather cool. So I can't complain about that. But when you're holding the figures, definitely this one's a tad heavier than this one. Just a different grade of plastic used. Now, this one I find pretty hilarious because, well, they're such drastically different sizes. And I'm sure you know which one is the real one. It's the larger one, and it's the one that says Tomy, TC, yeah, all that stuff, C-Chi, yeah, the magic letters that we've been talking about this whole entire series. So, very cute, but not quite the right size. I just love opening these things because they're always so different. They're always so not predictable as far as the quality will go, because some of their quality is actually pretty good. This Alakazam is not too bad. Actually, is this a Kadabra? I think it's a Kadabra. Yes, it is, because it's got the tail. In fact, it is. And this Abra, pretty damn good. But of course, Abra only has a slit for eyes, so it's not really difficult to keep that consistent. Now, one thing that didn't keep consistent was Dragonite and Gengar. So this is a really interesting clone of the actual Pokes. And let's see, let's bring these guys up front so you can just see kind of the difference in their wing coloration and also their eyes. This Dragonite, this derpy Dragonite's got its eyes going every which way. This Dragonite looks like it's looking one way. Looks like it's looking that way. And when we turn the other side, we see Maiden Tomy, and then we see the same thing, sorta, but a different alignment of how those are all set up. This is the real, genuine figure, I can assure you, because I got it at the Pokemon Center back in New York City. So, that's how I can have an assurance on that. Same goes for these Gengars here. I mean, it's pretty clear which one is real. The one that's actually translucent and had some work done into it looks way cooler than this one. Although this Gengar is not horrible. It's not poorly done, and it looks pretty cool still. You could see they tried pretty hard to copy the Tomy thing, but if you know anything about Gengar and the figure that he is, he's translucent because he's a ghost type, and he looks more badass like that. So, the next set of things that I'm not certain which one is real are the fighting types. That one can't even stand on its own, but this one is not real either, but it's a previously opened eBay collectible. There's absolutely nothing on this one's back but some scratch marks, and it's smaller. So which one is the real one here? It's hard to tell. But this one can't even stand on its own 2 feet. It's got the Tomy, China, Japanese, kanji, but it doesn't have C, G, those other letters that we mentioned before. None of that, so maybe 2 fake Poliwraths, but at the end of the day, who really cares? I think they're both awesome, and I can't get enough of Polyrath, so why not have another one that's just bigger than the other? This was the one that I got in this pack. This was one from another pack, and both of them have some sort of Tomy markings on them. This one has seemingly more legitimate ones, although I cannot confirm nor deny if this one is actually authentic, because I didn't collect it myself at any Pokemon Center or anything like that. But still, awesome figures. Both of them, they came out good. Although this one is a very odd plastic. You can tell that whoever made these figures made them consistent with their machine, because, you know, pretty much all of them have that just kind of matte plastic. That's a good description for it. Matte plastic rather than maybe a shinier plastic that we're used to seeing on the authentic models here. And I don't know if this one's authentic, but it looks cool. It's a cute no. And then we've got Absol here, which I've seen way worse. It's not horrible. I have seen shockingly bad Absol where their nose and their face proportions are just all sorts of wrong, and it shows. So that has been another edition of eBay Collectibles. Let me know which of the Fakeamon figures you find most favorable. Do you like this mini Lugia, the opaque Gengar? Oh, that's the actual real Mewtwo that I was just about to put in front of you. The darker looking Mewtwo, the interesting Flareon, and the reason I say interesting is because, well, look at its eyes. It's kind of looking everywhere. Just looking over there, it's looking down up there, over there. It's just crazy. It's crazy. If I could, I probably would try and color in the eyes differently, but maybe I can't. So, oh my goodness, this one almost got away. This one's so cool. It's a Metagross, and there's no way that it's real, because I have a real Metagross, again, from the Pokemon Center in New York City. The benefits of living on the East Coast, even if it was in Jersey for a time. But this is totally not what it looks like. You could just tell because the eyes, again, they are really kind of shoddy. They are dark and no pupilled. Also, the X is poorly painted because it cuts off, like right there. Even though it keeps going, it doesn't change the color of its face. So, that was one more that I almost missed out on, but it's a good duplicate. All these are pretty solid duplicates, not any of them that I can think of really I'm super dissatisfied with, just because they weren't all derpy looking. I don't mind duplicates that are fake, but you know, when they start to get derpy looking, when the eyes are looking every which way and it just doesn't make sense, that's when I say not really a good collectible. But this set, a good set. So make sure you support the seller below. I've been DeoGenZ, and I hope to see you in another episode of this series.